The night was quiet. The small village at the edge of the valley slept in peace. Houses of wood and stone stood in rows, their windows glowing faintly with the warm light of oil lamps. Children dreamed, farmers rested, and old people whispered their prayers before sleep. Nothing seemed unusual. It was just another night. But then, the sky changed. At first, a single red spark appeared high above the stars. It looked like a falling star, harmless, beautiful. Many villagers came out of their houses and pointed at it. Some even smiled. But within seconds, that red spark grew larger. It was not a star. It was fire. And that fire was falling toward them. A thunderous sound shook the ground. The air became hot. Flames rained down from the sky, striking the roofs, setting dry straw ablaze. The peaceful night broke into screams. Mothers pulled their children, men shouted, and the streets filled with panic. The fire spread too quickly, too strong for buckets of water, too strong for human hands. Above the burning roofs, dark shadows moved. They were not birds. They were not clouds. They were machines. Metallic shapes flew in the sky, their bodies glowing with strange blue lights. From their sides, beams of fire shot down, destroying everything they touched. The villagers had never seen such monsters. They did not know the word alien, but they knew terror. The invaders came with no warning, no mercy. Homes burned. Livestock screamed. The village was being erased. And in the middle of this storm, one child was left alone. He was small, no more than 7 years old, standing near the broken gate of the village. His parents had run, but in the chaos, he had fallen. The crowd moved past him. He shouted for help, but his voice was lost in the noise of fire and thunder. Tears blurred his eyes. He did not know where to run. Around him, the world was falling apart. One of the flying machines turned its eye toward him. A red light scanned the boy. The machine aimed, ready to fire. But before the beam could strike, the ground beneath the child shook. From deep inside the mountain near the village, something ancient awakened. A sound like no other filled the night. It was a roar that split the sky, a roar that carried power older than men, older than fire itself. The villagers, running in fear, froze. Even the alien machines hesitated for a moment. From the smoke and ash, a massive shape rose. Wings stretched wide, covering the flames. Scales shimmered like black stone, and eyes glowed like molten gold. The creature stepped forward, each movement heavy, each step echoing like thunder. It was a dragon. For centuries, the villagers had told stories of this dragon. Children whispered them at night. Elders spoke of it as a warning. The dragon was the guardian of the mountain, a beast of legend, feared and forgotten. But tonight, the legend walked again. The dragon's eyes locked on the child. The small boy stood frozen, unable to breathe, unable to move. The villagers expected the beast to burn him, to devour him. But instead, the dragon lowered its head, placing its giant body between the boy and the alien machine. The machine fired. A bright beam struck the dragon's chest. But the scales did not break. Fire rolled harmlessly across its skin. With one mighty breath, the dragon unleashed its own flame, hotter and brighter than any the villagers had seen. The alien machine exploded in the air, raining pieces of metal into the burning fields. The boy fell back, staring in shock. The dragon turned its great head toward him. Its golden eyes softened. For a moment, it seemed to study him, as if it had been waiting for this exact child. More machines circled above. Their weapons glowed, ready to fire again. The dragon spread its wings, shielding the boy completely. Its roar shook the valley once more. This was not a monster. This was a protector. The villagers watched from afar. Some cried in fear. Others in awe. They did not understand. Why would the ancient dragon save a human child? Why would it fight against the fire from the sky? The flames of the village grew higher. Smoke covered the stars. The machines prepared to strike again. But the dragon stood tall, unbroken, ready to fight. The boy clung to the ground beneath it, trembling but alive. No one knew the reason. No one could explain the mystery. But as fire devoured the village, the truth became clear. This child was not ordinary. And the dragon had returned for him. The night was no longer quiet. The story had begun. The night was still burning. The village behind them was nothing but smoke and fire. The screams of people grew weaker as they ran into the forest. The alien machines circled above, searching, scanning, hunting. But in the center of the chaos, the dragon stood tall. Its wings were wide, its golden eyes burning with power. And at its feet, the child trembled, too weak to run, too scared to speak. The dragon lowered its head close to the boy. The heat of its breath pushed away the falling ash. Its voice was deep, like thunder rolling across the mountains. "Do not fear, child," the dragon said. "You are safe with me." The boy blinked in shock. A talking dragon? His small voice shook as he whispered, Why are you helping me?" The dragon did not answer yet. Instead, it spread its wings and roared again. A wave of fire shot toward the sky, striking another alien machine. The metal creature exploded in sparks and flame. The others pulled back, afraid of the beast that stood against them. When silence returned for a moment, the dragon lowered its body and gently lifted the boy onto its back. The child grabbed the rough scales tightly, holding on with all his strength. The dragon leapt into the air, wings beating like storms, and carried him far from the dying village. They flew over dark forests, rivers shining like silver under the moon, and empty fields. At last, the dragon descended into a hidden cave carved into the side of the mountain. The entrance was wide enough for its giant body but hidden from any eye in the sky. Inside, the cave glowed faintly with crystals. The air was cool and calm, untouched by fire. The dragon laid the boy gently on a flat rock. The child looked around, wide-eyed. His small hand shook. He wanted to cry, but no tears came. He whispered again, Why me?" The dragon finally spoke, its voice low but heavy with meaning. "Long ago, before your people built these villages, before your kind forgot us, dragons walked with man. We fought side by side, against the same enemy you saw tonight." The boy frowned, not understanding. "Enemy?" "Yes," the dragon said. "Those machines. The fire from the sky. They are not of your world. They are not of mine. They come from the dark beyond the stars. They came long ago. They come again now." The child hugged his knees. His voice was small. "But, why protect me?" The dragon's eyes glowed brighter, as if fire itself burned within them. "Because of an oath. An ancient promise made long before your birth. We dragons swore to guard mankind's future. And you, child, you are the future." The boy shook his head. "No. I am just a boy. I am nobody." The dragon leaned closer. "You are not nobody. You carry the blood of the first men who stood with dragons. You are of the line we swore to protect. The invaders know this. That is why they searched for you. That is why they burned your village." The boy's heart pounded. He wanted to run, but there was nowhere to go. He wanted to deny it, but the dragon's golden eyes told only truth. The dragon lifted its head. "Listen well. I am the last of my kind. My brothers and sisters have long fallen, fighting to keep this world safe. But I still live. I still keep the oath. And now, I keep it for you." The cave trembled slightly as the dragon spoke. Its words carried power, like the earth itself was listening. The boy whispered, "If you protect me, then what happens to the others? My people?" The dragon's gaze softened. "I cannot protect all. Not anymore. But with you, hope remains. With you, mankind may rise again. That is why I must keep you alive." The boy's small fists clenched. He thought of his burning home, of the people screaming, of the machines destroying everything. He felt anger. He felt sadness. He felt the heavy weight of the dragon's words pressing on his chest. "Will they come again?" he asked quietly. "Yes," the dragon said. "They will never stop. Not until you are gone. Not until mankind is broken. But they fear you. That is why they hunt you. And that is why I will not let them take you." The boy looked up, eyes wet but burning with a spark of courage. "Then I will not hide forever." The dragon tilted its head, almost like a smile. "Brave words, little one. But courage must be shaped. Fire must be controlled. You are not ready yet. But in time, you will be. And when that day comes, the world will know the strength of man again." The boy nodded slowly. He did not fully understand, but he felt the truth in the dragon's voice. The dragon lowered its body to rest, the cave shaking slightly as it settled. "Sleep now, child. Rest. You are safe for tonight. Tomorrow, your path begins." The boy lay down on the stone, still holding tightly to the thought of his burning village. Sleep came slowly, but at last his eyes closed. The dragon watched over him, silent, unblinking. Its mind drifted back to the ancient days, to the oath made in blood and fire. It remembered the wars, the fallen kin, the promise unbroken. And as the night grew darker, the dragon whispered softly, so low the child could not hear. "You are not alone. I will guard you, until my last breath." Outside the cave, the forest was quiet. But far away, in the sky, alien lights still searched. The hunt was not over. The story was only beginning. The cave was silent, except for the slow breath of the dragon. The boy woke as morning light touched the crystals on the walls. His small body ached from fear and running, but he was alive. For a moment, he forgot the fire, the screams, the machines. Then memory returned, and his eyes filled with tears. The dragon opened its golden eyes. "You did not sleep long," it said. The boy sat up, hugging his knees. "I dreamed of my home. I dreamed of fire." The dragon lowered its head, the heat of its breath filling the cool cave. "Do not let sorrow break you. Fire destroys, but fire also creates. From ash, new life grows." The boy looked at him. "But why did the fire come for me? Why me?" The dragon studied him, silent for a long moment. At last, it spoke. "You are not just any child. You are of the bloodline of the first men. Long ago, before history was written, mankind faced the same enemy. The invaders came from the stars, burning, killing, taking. Your people were weak then, unprepared. But they were not alone. Dragons rose to fight beside them." The boy's eyes widened. "Dragons and men, together." "Yes," the dragon said. "Together. We were different, but we shared the same world. We shared the same enemy. And when the war ended, an oath was made. We swore to protect your kind. In return, mankind promised to remember." The dragon's voice grew heavy, filled with sorrow. "But promises are forgotten. As the centuries passed, humans turned their fear toward us. They told stories of dragons as monsters. They hunted us, killed us, drove us into hiding. Now, I am the last." The boy lowered his head in shame, though he had done nothing wrong. "I'm sorry," he whispered. The dragon's eyes softened. "Do not be sorry. The fault is not yours. The bond between man and dragon was broken, but not lost. For in your bloodline, the oath still lives. You are its heir. You are the child of man." The boy's small voice trembled. "But I am just a boy. I cannot fight. I cannot save anyone." The dragon moved closer, its massive head lowering until its golden eye was level with the child's face. "You are more than you believe. Power sleeps inside you. Courage will shape it. You may be young, but the invaders fear what you may become. That is why they came. That is why they burn your villages. They wish to end mankind before you awaken." The boy's heart pounded. "If they fear me, then I am dangerous." The dragon shook its head slowly. "No. You are hope. And hope is always dangerous to those who wish to rule by fear." Silence filled the cave. The boy looked down at his hands. They were small, weak, trembling. But for the first time, he wondered if they could one day hold strength. After a while, he asked, "What happened to the others? The other dragons?" The dragon's gaze grew distant, as if seeing across centuries. "They fought. They gave their lives in battle after battle. Each one fell with honor, defending this world. I carry their memory. I carry their oath. But my time is near its end. Soon, only you will remain." The boy felt a chill in his chest. "If you are gone, what will I do?" The dragon's deep voice rumbled, calm but firm. "You will lead. Not today. Not tomorrow. But one day. You will guide your people. You will teach them courage again. That is why I live. That is why I still fight. To protect you until you are ready." The boy's eyes burned with unshed tears. "I don't want you to die." The dragon let out a long breath, smoke curling from its nostrils. "All things die, child. Even mountains fall. But oaths do not die. They live on, as long as one remembers." The boy nodded slowly. His small hands curled into fists. "Then I will remember. I will not forget your oath." For the first time, the dragon's massive mouth curved into something almost like a smile. "Good. You are already stronger than you know." But their moment of peace did not last. Far above the cave, the sky echoed with a strange hum. The alien machines were searching. Their red lights moved across the forests, hunting for signs of life. The dragon lifted its head, its golden eyes narrowing. "They draw closer," it growled. "We are not safe here forever." The boy's body tensed with fear. "They will find us." "They will try," the dragon answered. "But I will stand between them and you. Always." The child's heart filled with both fear and determination. He was no warrior, no leader, but something deep inside him, something ancient, stirred when the dragon spoke. He felt a spark. A beginning. The dragon turned back toward him. "Remember this night. Remember what you are. You are the child of man. And one day, mankind will rise because of you." The boy swallowed hard. "Then teach me to be strong." The dragon studied him for a long moment. Finally, it gave a single, slow nod. "So it begins." The cave grew silent once more, but outside, the forest trembled with the sound of machines moving closer. The war was not far. The boy's journey had only just begun. Far above the clouds, beyond the burning villages, a great shadow moved. It was not a mountain, nor a storm. It was a ship, an alien mothership, dark as night, wide as a city, hanging in the sky like a silent predator. Inside, the air was cold. The walls pulsed with strange blue light, alive like veins under skin. Alien soldiers moved in silence, their bodies half metal, half flesh. They did not speak with mouths but with sharp clicking sounds that echoed in the dark. At the center of the ship sat their commander. Tall, armored, with eyes like red fire, it gazed down at a glowing screen. On that screen was the image of a child, the boy from the village. The commander's voice hissed like a blade drawn across stone. "He lives. The child of man still breathes." The soldiers clicked in fear. One asked, its voice trembling, "How?" "The fire destroyed the village. None should have survived." The commander's eyes burned brighter. "He was not alone. The Ancient One has awakened." At the mention of the dragon, silence filled the chamber. Even the soldiers stepped back. For in their memories, carved from old wars, dragons were not just beasts. They were death itself, fire given form. Another soldier spoke carefully. "If the dragon protects him, he cannot be taken." The commander rose from its throne. "The oath continues. We should have ended it long ago. This child carries the blood of man's first leaders. If he grows, if he learns, mankind will rise again. That must never happen." Its claws tapped the glowing table. "Send more hunters. Burn the forests. Search the mountains. The boy must die." The soldiers bowed low. The hunt was far from over. Far below, inside the hidden cave, the dragon stirred. Its golden eyes narrowed as if it could feel the distant command. The boy watched nervously as the dragon rose to its feet. "They are searching," the dragon rumbled. "The air smells of their machines. They will come here." The boy's heart pounded. "Then what do we do?" The dragon looked down at him. "We prepare. You must learn to survive." The boy's face paled. "But I cannot fight. I am small, weak." "Enough," the dragon said, its voice firm, unshakable. "Strength is not in size. Strength is in heart. The invaders fear you, though you do not yet know why. That fear is your weapon." The boy swallowed hard. "But what if I fail?" The dragon lowered its massive head until its golden eyes locked with the boy's. "Then mankind fails. But I will not let you fail. Not while I still breathe." The boy clenched his fists, trying to bury his fear. He nodded slowly. "Then I will try." The dragon gave a deep sound, almost like approval. "Good. Listen well. You must learn 3 things. First, never run from fire. Face it. Second, trust your heart, even when your mind doubts. Third, remember always who you are, the child of man." The boy repeated the words softly, like a prayer. "Face fire. Trust my heart. Remember who I am." The dragon turned toward the cave entrance. "Good. Keep them. They may save your life." The night grew darker. From deep in the forest came strange humming sounds, mechanical and sharp. Red lights flashed between the trees. The hunters had come. The boy froze. "They're here." The dragon spread its wings, blocking the cave mouth. "Stay behind me." The first machine burst through the trees, its metal body glowing with blue veins. Its red eye scanned the ground. Others followed, moving like wolves on the hunt. Their voices were not voices at all but cold mechanical clicks. The dragon roared, and the forest shook. Fire burst from its mouth, lighting the night like a second sun. The first machine was torn apart, its body melting into slag. But more came. Always more. The boy crouched against the wall, shaking. He felt helpless, useless. The cave shook with every strike of alien fire. He pressed his hands to his ears, but still the sound of battle filled him. And then something strange happened. As he watched the dragon fight, a sharp pain struck his head. He cried out, clutching it. In his mind, he heard voices. Not human voices. Alien ones. The child, find him, destroy him. He gasped. He could hear them. The aliens. He could feel their thoughts, their fear, their hunger. For a moment, he almost saw through their eyes, red light scanning, hunting, burning. He screamed and fell to the ground. The dragon turned quickly, its fire still burning. What is it, child? The boy shook, his small body trembling. I heard them. Their voices. They're afraid. They know about me. They fear me. The dragon's eyes widened. For the first time, it looked surprised. Then it nodded slowly. It begins. Your bloodline awakens. The boy did not understand, but the truth was clear. He was changing. He was more than he thought. Outside, the alien machines pulled back, their bodies glowing red as if in frustration. The dragon roared again, fire tearing through the night. The hunters retreated into the dark, but not defeated. They would return. Stronger. The boy sat shaking, his heart racing. They will never stop, will they? No, the dragon said softly. Not until you stand against them. Not until mankind rises again. The boy looked into the firelit eyes of his protector. Fear still filled him, but alongside it burned something new. Determination. The war had found him. And there was no turning back. The forest was quiet again, but only for a moment. The boy sat near the mouth of the cave, his knees pulled to his chest. His heart still pounded from the battle. He could not forget the voices that had filled his mind, the alien whispers calling for his death. The dragon stood tall behind him, its golden eyes burning in the dark. You heard them, it said. The boy nodded weakly. Yes. Their voices were inside my head. They know who I am. They are afraid of me. The dragon lowered its great head. This is the power of your bloodline. The first leaders of men shared their thoughts with dragons. Together, they could sense the enemy, feel their fear, and strike before the enemy struck them. That gift has returned in you. The boy looked down at his small hands. But I don't know how to use it. It hurts. It makes me afraid. The dragon's deep voice rumbled through the cave. Fear is the beginning. Fire begins with a spark. You must learn to hold it, not let it burn you. That is why we must train. The next days were filled with lessons. At dawn, the dragon made the boy climb the rocks outside the cave. His hands bled, his legs shook, but the dragon forced him higher. Strength comes when weakness breaks, the dragon told him. At noon, the dragon taught him to breathe calmly, to close his eyes and listen. At first the boy heard only the wind, the river, the forest. But slowly, faint echoes of thought brushed his mind, the small cries of birds, the restless hunger of wolves, the cold focus of machines moving far away. The boy gasped when he felt it. I can hear them. Not with my ears, but with something else. The dragon's golden eyes gleamed with pride. Yes. You are awakening. At night, when fire lit the sky in the distance, the dragon told stories. He spoke of the old wars, when men and dragons stood together. He told of kings who rode on dragon backs, their minds joined, their courage unmatched. He told of battles against the same invaders who now hunted them. The boy listened with wide eyes. Every word burned into him like flame into wood. But training was not easy. Some nights he woke screaming, hearing the aliens in his head. Some days his body gave up, too tired to climb or run. Once, he fell and cried out, I cannot do this. I am only a child. The dragon lowered its head close. You are right. You are only a child. But a child of man. And man's strength is not in age or size. It is in will. Stand again. And the boy stood, though his legs trembled. One evening, as the sun bled red across the sky, The boy sat on the cliff outside the cave. He closed his eyes and reached with his mind. This time, the voices came clearer. He felt the alien machines moving, searching. He felt their cold hunger. But deeper still, he felt something else, something buried beneath the mountain. A pulse. A heartbeat. A power not alien, but ancient. He gasped and turned to the dragon. There's something here. Under the mountain. I can feel it. The dragon's eyes narrowed. So you sense it too? Yes, the machines of old. Built by man, with dragonfire, to fight the invaders. They have slept for centuries. Only one of your blood can wake them. The boy's chest tightened. Me? Yes, the dragon said. You. This is why the invaders fear you. You are the key, not just to mankind's courage, but to its forgotten weapons. The boy stared at the ground, fear and wonder mixing inside him. But what if I fail? The dragon's deep voice shook the air. Then all is lost. But I do not believe you will fail. That night, the forest shook. Red lights filled the sky. The hum of alien engines grew louder, closer, stronger than before. The boy woke to the dragon's roar. They come, the dragon thundered. This time, with many. The boy ran to the cave mouth. His eyes widened in horror. Dozens of machines poured through the trees, glowing with blue fire. Above them, a massive ship descended, larger than the village itself. Its weapons burned with deadly light. The boy clutched the dragon's scales. We cannot fight them all. The dragon's chest rumbled with fire. We will fight as long as I breathe. But you must awaken what sleeps. Only then can mankind stand. The boy shook with fear. I don't know how. You will, the dragon growled. The blood will guide you. The first wave of machines fired. The dragon's wings spread wide, shielding the boy. Flames roared from its mouth, tearing through metal. The night became a storm of fire and light. The boy pressed his hands against the stone of the mountain, desperate, his mind reaching. He felt the alien voices screaming in rage. But beneath them, deeper, older, he felt the heartbeat again. Slow. Waiting. He shouted, "Wake! Please, wake!" And the ground trembled. The mountain shook as if answering his cry. Rock split. Light burst from cracks in the earth, golden and strong. Deep inside, something stirred. The machines of old, the weapons of men and dragons, answered the call of their heir. The boy gasped as the energy surged through him. His mind connected, his bloodline alive. He was no longer just a boy. He was the bridge between man, dragon, and the power of the past. The dragon roared in triumph. Yes, it has begun. But the alien army did not stop. Their commander's ship descended, its red eye burning, its voice echoing across the battlefield. The child of man must die tonight. The dragon bared its teeth, fire swirling in its throat. The boy stood beside him, shaking, afraid, but with a new fire burning in his heart. The battle for mankind's future had arrived. The mountain shook as if the world itself had awakened. Golden light spilled from the cracks in the earth, brighter with every heartbeat. The ancient machines of man, buried for centuries, stirred once more. The boy stood on trembling ground, his small hands pressed against the glowing stone. His heart raced, his breath came fast, but his mind was clear. He felt the power within the mountain, old and waiting. He felt it answer his call. The dragon stood tall beside him, wings spread, fire burning in its throat. Above them, the alien mothership loomed, vast and merciless. Its red eye glowed brighter, and its commander's voice hissed across the sky. The child of man must die. Dozens of alien machines poured into the valley, their blue lights cutting through the smoke. The dragon roared, shaking the heavens. Its flames swept across the first wave, melting metal into ash. But more came, always more. The boy shouted over the roar of battle, "There are too many." The dragon's golden eyes never wavered. "Then we will fight until the end. But you, child, reach deeper. Call them. The old guardians will obey you." The boy clenched his fists, fear and fire clashing inside him. He closed his eyes and reached with his mind. At first, only chaos filled him, the alien voices screaming, the sound of machines tearing through the forest. But then, beneath it all, he felt them, the ancient machines, waiting like sleeping giants. He called out with all his heart. "Rise! Wake now!" The earth split open. From the glowing cracks rose massive figures of stone and metal, built by men but powered by dragon fire. Their eyes lit gold, their chests rumbled with energy. They turned their heads slowly, as if remembering life after centuries of sleep. The boy gasped. "They're alive!" The dragon roared with pride. "They are yours to command." The alien machines charged, but now the Guardians stepped forward. Their giant arms swung like mountains falling, crushing invaders into dust. Their golden fire lit the battlefield, answering the boy's call. The boy's voice trembled, but he spoke with new strength. "Fight with us!" And they obeyed. The battle raged. The dragon tore through the enemy with fire and claw. The ancient Guardians struck with thunderous power. The boy stood in the middle of it all, his small body glowing faintly with the same golden light. He was the bridge. He was the key. But the alien commander did not retreat. The mothership's eye glowed brighter. A beam of red fire shot down, striking the battlefield. The ground exploded, sending the Guardians crashing. The boy was thrown back, coughing, his body weak. The dragon shielded him, its massive body taking the blast. Smoke and blood spilled from its scales, but still it stood. The commander's voice hissed again, filled with rage. "You cannot win. The oath will break. The child of man will fall." The dragon growled, fire leaking from its mouth. "No. The oath will never break. Not while I breathe." It leapt into the sky, wings beating like storms, straight toward the mothership. Alien fire struck it again and again, burning its wings, tearing its flesh. But still the dragon climbed, roaring with all its might. The boy screamed, "No! Don't leave me!" The dragon looked back only once. Its golden eyes met the boy's. In that single glance, it spoke what words could not: live. Lead. Remember. Then it struck. The dragon's fire poured into the mothership's eye, brighter than the sun. Its body slammed against the ship, tearing into metal. The sky burned with light as the mothership shook, cracking under the ancient beast's fury. The boy fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. He felt the dragon's pain, the dragon's fire, through the bond between them. And he felt the dragon's last gift, its courage flowing into him. The mothership exploded in a storm of fire and metal. The dragon's roar echoed across the valley one final time, then silence. The boy's heart broke. He cried out into the smoke-filled sky. But as he wept, the Guardians rose again, their golden eyes still burning. They stood around him, waiting for his command. The alien army, leaderless, began to fall back. Their machines retreated into the forest, their red lights fading into the distance. The invasion was not ended, but the battle was won. The boy wiped his tears, his small face hardened with new strength. He stood, surrounded by the Guardians, the last echo of dragon fire still glowing within him. He whispered, his voice steady, "I am the child of man. And I will lead." The Guardians bowed their heads. The oath lived on. At dawn, the smoke lifted from the valley. The village was gone, but from its ashes, hope had risen. The boy stood alone on the mountain cliff, the wind carrying his hair, his eyes burning with the memory of golden fire. He looked toward the sky, where pieces of the mothership still fell like shooting stars. He spoke softly, as if to the wind, as if to the dragon whose body was gone but whose spirit still lived. "I will not forget. Your oath is mine now." And with those words, mankind's story turned. As fire had devoured the village, hope had been born in its place. The dragon was gone, but the child remained. And because of him, mankind would rise again. The story had ended, but a greater story had only just begun.